Panyaza Lesufi, more famously known for being the MEC for education in Gauteng, most famously known for spending 400 million rand on sanitizing schools with no children in it, and also more famously known because he said AfriForum wanted to kill him.
They've been following my family. They've been following my children. They've been trying to attack me. They've been trying to assassinate me.
But now he is more well known as the Premier of Gauteng, and the man's a complete absolute mental case. As with most speeches by politicians in South Africa, the world that they envision is not the world that is actually in existence in South Africa. So, for example, Lesufi was very, very upset about crime in Gauteng, and he has some very good ideas on how to combat crime in Gauteng, and that's what we are going to talk about. We'll have more on the story right after with a word from our sponsor. Let's be honest, Bitcoin is by far the best performing asset of the last decade, and a lot of people are using Bitcoin to hedge themselves against government overreach and fiat currency debasement, otherwise known as inflation. And that's why the guys over at Bitvice have developed their latest product, Sat Stacker. Essentially, you set a debit order, you accumulate Bitcoin every single month. Your Bitcoin won't be on an exchange, it won't be in anyone's hands, it will be directly deposited into your private wallet. So accumulate Bitcoin today, and every single month you set the price, you set the frequency, Sat Stacker does all the rest. In order to get started, click the link in the description below.
Before we discuss his interventions, can you just remind me and remind the viewers, what stage load shedding are you on?
We are on supposedly stage 6, but I think it's actually stage 8.
So let's remind ourselves, there is no electricity for the vast majority of the day now. There is stage 6/stage 8 load shedding. And Mr. Lesufi's ideas are that what we will do is we will digitalize. Yep, we will digitalize a lot of infrastructure in Gauteng. And that digitalization will bring with it economic prosperity. How are we going to run the digitalized infrastructure when we have no electricity? One has to ask the salient question. When the minister doesn't actually experience load shedding, as you know, all of these government stooges are excused from load shedding schedules or given at least backups or generations, and therefore it is unsurprising that they come up with solutions that are beholden on the electricity infrastructure, which, as we know, doesn't exist.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. But I think we should look at the security features he wants to implement in Gauteng at least. The first one is to issue electronic padding buttons to citizens, and that padding button will be linked to SAPS, and then SAPS will come and save you from criminals.
Yeah, so they've obviously got this idea from private security, haven't they?
No, but it is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we know that the phone lines don't work. Try call 10111 now. There's like no one answers the phones. The assumption that electronic panic buttons to citizens, like people will actually press them and the police will come, is beyond the realm of parody at this stage.
Which actually takes us on to the next thing that's even more laughable, and that is he wants to put tracking devices in all handguns. He says that all handguns that are now illegal at one point in time were legal.
So I think he's right in terms of handguns being a problem. What he doesn't mention, though, is that, of course, most of the legal guns in South Africa are, well, from SAPS. Let's be honest. I mean, 26,000 firearms between 2005 and 2017 from SAPS were either lost or stolen. 26,000, my friends, and close to 10 million rounds of ammunition have been stolen from the police service since 2016. His solution of like putting electronic tracking devices on every single gun, private or SAPS or army in Gauteng is absolutely ludicrous. And number two, how? This is a solution to a problem like no one's invented.
Yeah, and nobody's invented that solution because the actual solution itself is stupid. They're illegal handguns. Why wouldn't you just confiscate them, mate? Why would you go put a tracker in it? Are you dumb? And the answer in this instance is clearly yes.
That's great. We're going to find illegal handguns, put tracking devices, then just let them roam free out there in Gauteng somewhere.
But that's okay because they're tracked now.
Yeah.
And we know where they are.
So it's like you have a vehicle that's hijacked and the tracker says, oh no, we found it. It's in Mozambique. So, okay, can you like get it back, arrest people? No, we're tracking the vehicle. That's all that matters. But the irony of all of this, Byron, is that we know that the Western Cape, Alan Windey, wants to devolve police to the provincial powers. Bikitsele says he can't do that, but it looks like Panyaza Lesufi sort of wants to do that because he wants SAPS to have like more vehicles and more guns and more resources, but only for Gauteng. But he doesn't seem to understand that SAPS is a national competency and not a provincial one. I wonder if anyone has asked a question on that. I somehow doubt it.
He's like, I'm part of the in crowd, I'm part of the ANC. Surely they'll let me do it. The other thing he obviously now wants, I mean, has he seen Prosa, for example? There's no fucking rail tracks, mate. There's nothing. But his new thing is he wants to have railway lines between Gauteng and Limpopo, and he wants high street bullet trains, like the type you see in Tokyo. That's what he wants. There's no electricity in the country, and there's no rail tracks. State of politicians in this country, mate.
Who the hell goes to Limpopo, and especially by train? Who the hell wants to do that? And also, once again, it's a national competency. The railway is a national competency. So it's like Panyaza has some inside knowledge that maybe there will be devolution of power. If Panyaza can do all of this and there is devolution of power equally spread across the provinces, and then it's not really a bad idea, now is it? But I doubt that is actually going to happen. But we do know very well the ANC loves to do one thing more than any other, to spend our hard-earned tax money on things that don't really matter. So, for example, they want to buy 180 drones, as they call it, that will infiltrate areas and, make things easier for police to patrol and all sort of stuff. But what is interesting about the ANC, Byron, we know they're more than happy to splash the cash on buying stuff. But where is that stuff within a year or two? It's all broken. It's all up, and it doesn't work, and there's no plan to actually fix it or maintain it.
I don't know what else you can say. Like, the state of politicians in this country, they're just retarded. The problem is they don't have a solution, mate. Like, these guys are just clueless, and they're so out of touch now. It's just like, this is the ideas the ANC gives. You've said it many times, the ANC's tired, mate. It's tired. It just needs to retire now and just give somebody with fresh ideas a go at the troubles that the nation faces. The ANC is just tired.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say fresh ideas, just like someone who's mildly competent, just mildly, will be quite good for us. So anyway, what are our forecasts on the province of Gauteng within, I don't know, the next few years if Panyaza Lesufi is the premier, assuming he wins next year, of course? What are your forecasts? Do you think it's going to be Wakanda, or is it going to be Umtata, rather?
I think Umtata is going to make Gauteng look like Wakanda. That's what I think.